Hey everybody, JM Hunter here with another update for our 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. And so this is update, I think, number 3. And update number 3, maybe day number 4 and 5 covering. So I'm kind of doing a video every other day or every 2 days just because of the current, life situation doesn't allow me to have quiet and video access, on a daily basis. I'm hoping to rectify that soon. So let me tell you where I'm at. I have got the one page that I may have shown you earlier, more or less finished. Okay, little semi-auto-bio comic. The only thing that needs to be done on that is the lettering, which I'll do at a later date. Right now, I just want to rack up panels and pages. So eventually, that is, you can see that on Instagram actually, but or you can see it right here because I'm showing it to you right now. And so that page is done. And what else have I gotten done regarding the comic challenge? So I did a whole lot of referencing as well as research for one of the upcoming comic strips that I have to do for Bob Corby's O Comics anthology. And so that took pretty much most of the day going through that. I'll get into more of that later on as I start drawing up concepts and character designs and everything like that. So other than that, I've also started another strip, which is very lightly, and that's about all you're gonna get of that until I actually get to the point where there's finished, because I kind of want it to be a surprise. So, so yeah, as far as referencing goes, all right, just kind of doing my skull studies. A while back, I had a video where I did an unboxing, so putting that to work, and someone made the joke that the teeth look like candy corn, so now I'm kind of tempted. That'd be Kagan Masters, my former studio mate, friend at Redeemed Inc. So shout out to Kagan. And so here's some insight in regards to this challenge. So the challenge calls for you to focus at least 30 minutes on making your comic or comics. And I know from experience that it could get to the point where even 30 minutes feels like it's hard to carve out of your day, especially when you've got a family and other things happening. But or just not building momentum. I'm kind of like the kind of type of artist that likes to build momentum and then go all in, and then kind of like prep and plan and fuss over details like Batman, in a way where you're trying to prep everything, get everything ready. But the truth of the matter is not everything's going to be perfect. There's not going to be always the perfect date, time, scenario to produce comics or to produce any work that you want to do, especially if it's a labor of love and currently not paying gig. So what I've would suggest to anyone that's considering trying it or struggling with the similar circumstances of trying to carve out time for yourself, even if you can't do 30 minutes, get 15 minutes of writing down, 15 minutes of sketching down if you need to, if you're working on hands or something, or 15 minutes of your comic. Just you owe it to yourself to try and carve out some time out of that day or every other day to work on stuff, because you're going to feel miserable if it piles up. The time, days, weeks, years go by that are piling up, and you still haven't worked on what you feel is your passion. You're going to be miserable. People around you are going to be miserable, and the work's still not getting done. So an insight that I am working on is giving myself at least 15 to 30 minutes a day. Thankfully, I've been on some days I'm sitting there for 3-4 hours working on my stuff. So it's give and take. Some days it's only minutes, some days it's hours. So what I'll continue to work on is I've got a wedding invitation I have to work on for a friend. So that's going to take most of my focus. I'm going to have to do a lot of referencing, a lot of anatomy studies and just composition. So that's going to be my primary focus, because I want it to come out really well as the fact that it's due here soon. So I might have to just settle for doing those minutes at a time on my comic. And again, even if it's just a trickle, that's still a little bit going towards your passion, towards completing that comic. And another thing, as an aside, one thing I've found is that I have this weird decompression state after I finish a comic or finish a project or a commission, then I just like I feel like I have to come down, and then sometimes I kind of get to the point where I don't want to create anything, and then I just want to veg or something. And meanwhile, there's stuff that still needs to be done, other projects, other comics that require my attention. So yeah, I'd like to find some way of shortening that decompression time. It's almost like it's like easy to fall into a rut if you're not careful, and just bouncing back and working, moving on to the next project. And I always have like many fires blazing, but tempering that and being able to focus that into like steel remains the ultimate goal, I think, for me. I just had a piece, 3 pieces in the Comics versus Art here in Columbus at the Wild Goose Gallery. If you're local, go check those out. There's lots of great interpretations of historical paintings, but with the comic theme. I find that I really enjoy doing that type of hybrid. I wouldn't call it parody because most of my stuff that I took on was more serious subject matter than comedic. But I enjoy riffing off of something else. So satire in a way. I would say that that's definitely part of my toolbox, especially lately. What else are we going to talk about here? So plugging away at various scripts, and I know most of the challenge lately is focused on actual producing, artwork and pages, but you got to give love to the script, to the story, because that is part of the art. That is part of the art. That is art. That is part of the medium. If you don't have a good foundation, then sometimes the rest of the work could be weak sauce. It could be you writing on fumes and writing on a not fully fleshed out idea, which also has its merit. I love doing art comics jams and experiments. I do a lot of experiments, so not everything is works. Sometimes it's a miss instead of a hit. But eventually, I do recommend that you work on getting that foundation, strengthening it, make it solid, and then building and doing the rest of the stuff afterwards. So right now, I guess that's what we're all about in this first week or so of this Making Comics Challenge and life in general, is trying to break the bad habits and build up better habits, build up good habits. I feel like those are the key to eventual success. Okay, so I guess that's it for my update. I hope the next update will be sooner than later, and we'll have some more artwork for you. All right, take it easy.